Hello, this is Shakil Ahmed. In this video, I will show how to produce forest plots for reporting effect sizes and confidence interval when we have multiple variables and multiple groups. We want to present results for multiple groups and compare them. So this is most important thing when presenting your results. You can at the same time you can present a forest plot as well as uh, uh, the tables of the confidence interval with the effect size like odds ratios or difference in mean, or you can present the hazard ratio with their confidence intervals. So you will get basically we are combining different objects. For example, these are the indexes of the variables. For example, we have four variables, then we have these indexes like this, and we have odd ratios corresponding to different variables, and we have 95% confidence interval corresponding to different variables, and we just plot the odds ratios with confidence interval like this. And then we can combine all the objects in a single plot. That is the result we want to show. The index, that may be the variable names and the odds ratios, and the with confidence interval in the plot form. Forest plot, this is called forest plot, and these are the means and the odds ratios, and these are the confidence limits. And this is these are two tables with odds ratios and 95% confidence. So then we can plot the for forest plot as well as a bar chart. We can make, we will just get a bar chart. For example, if we have two groups, for example, control and intervention in each category, then we can specify different uh, groups through a bar chart. And these are the proportion of events. For example, this group has higher proportion than this group, and so on. And we can put all these in a single plot. The bar chart and the multiple bar chart and the variable names. Although you can write the index in first, you don't need, if the indexes are already mentioned here, then you don't need to put here. You can just skip this table. And this is not showing. You can increase the length of this table, width of this table, and this is the forest plot, and this is the art ratio, and this is the 95% comedy. Although the coding is a little difficult, but if you have codes, you can replicate your result. Definitely, I will try to share the codes on my GitHub account. You can access from there, and you can just replicate the results with your data. So let's start. We have working lecture number 7, and we will start with the code. We need just ggplot2 library and grid extra library, and I have just created data. This is the data you will get after applying a logistic regression. For example, the odds ratios and the confidence interval, and you need to put the confidence interval in a single column to present in your table, right? These are the indexes. For example, if these are different studies, study publication 1, publication 2, publication 3, publication 4, then you can write the years of publication in these indexes. But definitely the years should be unique. If you have multiple publication in multiple in same year, then you need to specify different index, different and years in different variable. So basically, you can present your data from a meta-analysis as well in this random forest plot. So we have this data. You can just see I have already installed these two package you need to install, and this is the data set, uh, including index, labels, uh, odds ratios, and lower limit, upper limit, and confidence interval in form of interval. And then we are going to first plot the odds ratio in with confidence interval. So in ggplot, you need to supply the data, that is data to this data set, and the axis OR means I am keeping the odd ratios on x-axis, and y is the basically on y-axis. If you see on the y-axis, you need the labels, for example, sex, income, education, and age. So you need to put in that, and in shape you will also keep the labels. Labels is basically the variable names in this data set, and you can color black. It means you are showing the results in black form, the numbers in black, numbers as well as variable names. And then you can write the uh, this is basically a bar plot with error bars, that is the minimum is lower limit and the upper is maximum is upper limit. Basically these are the uh, two bars, this one and this one. And you can set the width of bar, you can make large, long, and you can short as well. I'm just keeping point. And the geometry point, that is size 2.5. If you want to increase, you can increase. And the title of the plot is odds ratio. Odds ratio with confidence 95% confidence interval. I'm just changing this. And you can just put a horizontal line above the uh, table, that is this line, and I am putting this line as at 4.6. It means I am keeping here. If you put 4.3, it will come here below. So you can set on y-axis where you are keeping on x-axis. Basically, this table is just rotated on this is x-axis and this is y-axis just for this table. This table is just rotated on uh, uh, y-axis here and x-axis here. Basically, we are plotting on it horizontally, not vertically. So, but now we are talking about this plot. In this plot, this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. So we are just setting this line. We are not talking about this plot right now. And this is the horizontal line and it is the vertical line. Vertical line is I am setting at 1, as we are comparing the odds ratio with respect to 1. If you are interested in differences, then you need to set it at 0. It depends on the effect size, which is the base effect size. And if you are presenting hazard ratio, then you also need to put it on 1. So the horizontal line is I am just keeping here. So this is the vertical line, sorry, where the value of x-axis is 1. So above 1, higher order ratio, and below 1, lower order ratio. And accordingly, you can see what the effect of different variable, for example, effect of age, effect of income, effect of sex. And the labels we are giving odd ratio with 95% confidence interval, and y is the on y-axis it is the variable. And I'm taking on the scale of x-axis is continuous, and that is the odds ratio. Basically, odds ratios that can be minus infinity to infinity, but in this case I'm just taking -2 to add with break at 2 means minus 2, 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. And the lower limit is minus 1 and the upper limit is 5. Minus 2 and 5. If you have higher values, then you need to put higher. Although we can set at 4 in this case, the maximum upper limit is 3 point something. So that is okay. And these are the scale shape manual. You can change these values, and these values have no specific impact. And this is the size of the shared theme. You can increase theme, you can decrease accordingly. And these are some uh, these are giving basically different lines to different things, different color to different things, and sizes to different things. For example, legend position, that is none. It means we are giving uh, no legend. If you need any legend, then you need to write the position. Position means where you are putting the legend. For example, for this plot, we have a legend at this position. This position is for the y-axis value is 0.8 and the x-axis value is something like this. So we are putting the legend here. But in this plot, we have no legend, so we are just writing it as none. And plot title, that is central justified. It means point 0.5 means we are keeping writing it on center. Here, this is the plot title. And x-axis line x element is that is zero point 0.6. If you want to increase it, you can write the size of x-axis line. For example, I can make it 7. It will be a little broader. And this is the axis sticks. If you have different uh, marks here, these are the lengths basically. This one, this one, this one. You can increase the length of these ticks. These are called ticks. And x-axis text, uh, axis text y. For y, we have no axis text. That's why I'm keeping it blank. And for similarly, there is no line for on y-axis. There is no line. And you can there is no tick as well, there is no title, so these are all blank for y-axis. So we can just make this plot with the plot option. You can see now this is the plot that is the forest plot for odds ratio with 95% confidence interval. And now we are going to make a table on this side. We need 3 tables. One table is uh, odd ratios, and the second table is confidence interval, and we need to write a table here on the left side with variable names. Let's do this. Uh, we are again using the ggplot option with data, and we are setting geometry text. Now we have a we need a table with while is equal to labels means on y-axis we are writing the variable, and axis is equal to 1 means axis is setting at 1, and labels are the variable uh, indexes. These are the values we need. So we are plotting the labels and we are just labeling them. So you can just add again, you are adding a horizontal line and you are giving a title, and you are giving the theme that is 14 just like in above. And we need again all the things, the uh, y-axis line, y-axis tick, y-axis title, and for similarly for x-axis. So these are the same things we already discussed in plot 2. So this is the first table basically just with variable name. So these are just showing the indexes, not names. If you keep the index here and names here, it will display the names. Just change. See, it should be label and it should be the index. Let's see what happened. I'm also not sure. Yeah, now we have variable names, education, income, sex, age, and you can add the indexes for example, years as well. If you are doing a meta-analysis and these are the study names and these are the years, you can add another. You can add another table just like this. As many as you want to add, you can add with this plotting options. This is very flexible option, and that is extra grids option in ggplot. And now we are adding the odds ratio, and that is odds ratio rounded to decimal places, and y-axis we have labels, basically the variables, and on y-axis uh, we have one. Basically we are centralizing on one. We are just making a plot, and we that consists of a column, one column with odds ratio. And again you have all the options we have already discussed, and you can see the table 1 with odds ratios. These are the odds ratios. And then table 2 with confidence interval. So we have two type of confidence interval. So just and at the label what we are displaying, you are displaying the lower limit rounded to 2 digit and the upper limit rounded to 2 digit, you can see. And the other things are same for table 2 as we just wrote for table 1. Now you can, this is a table with only class confidence intervals, lower and upper confidence interval with a semicolon in middle. I think you can change this semicolon with dash or comma, but comma is basically used for other options, that's why it will not work. And then we are putting these four elements together: table naught, and then plot, and then table 1, and then table 2. And the widths are we have only one column for table naught, and the plot is basically the forest plot. That we need a higher width, and this is also a single column, and this is with two values. This is the confidence interval. So let's put together all the things and you will get the final table. That is the table we need to show. This is the table. The indexes, and for indexes you can see this line is just showing below. It means we are setting the horizontal line just below to this line. So you can change and you can set it. For example, it, I'm just checking for plot not all are at 4.6, but I don't know why it is showing like this. And there might be some change in the length. This is step knot. we need to check for that is 4.6 and zero point 0.3. Length is also same and base size is also same. All the things no, for tape not we just need to check 4.6 and size is 2 and this is zero point 0.3 axis stick length that should be size of theme or this should be basically the horizontal line and this is we have already set on 4.6 then I don't know why it is showing below the other lines. Basically, this is the value we need to. This is the line we are setting here, geometry horizontal line for tape knot. So you can check this if you want to set. I think all the things are same as we have already. Might be there some other mistakes. So now we are putting a multiple bar chart on this side as we have seen and this one. So this is basically a reverted just on x-axis here and y-axis here. So we need to make a plot like this. And for this we have different data as we have 8 indexes. We had 4 variables and each variable have 2 categories. So we need to write we need to change the index 1 to 8. This is not this will not display in your here. And these are the labels. There's the variables, and I have just repeated as for example, if we have 2 categories, category A, B, so age A, age B, sex A, sex B. You can just see this. This is a table with length 8. You can just see this data. This is the table. We have two groups A, B for all these variables, and we want to display the percentages, basically these probabilities for different groups using a multiple bar chart. If you have more than two groups, you need to repeat the data 3 times, 4 times, and so on. And again, we are making a plot, and this plot is a ggplot, and coordinate flip means we are changing the axis. We have data, we have x-axis aesthetics, that is these variable, these are the on x-axis. As I said, we are reverting. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. Y-axis is on this side and x-axis is on this side. This is just change as the coordinate is flipped. And this is the width and this is the position and the fill is the groups will show in different colors. These are the colors codes. If you want to change the colors, you can change. I am using these two colors, the yellow one and something like green one. And this is the title of the uh, plot, and we are writing x-intercept as 4.6, that is the horizontal line we are drawing in above plots, and we are on y-axis we have values from 0 to 1 as these are the proportions. If you are showing percentages, then you can write from 0 to 100 with 20 each. I am just writing point 0.2. It means 0, 0.2, 0.4, 0.6 and zero point 0.8 and 1. So the limits is written here 0 to 1, and you can expand from 0 0 coordinate, and the rest of things are the same. And here the different thing is legend position, which we specified at zero point 0.8 and zero point 1. We can see x-axis 0 point 0.8. This is y-axis, that is 0.8, and the x-axis is zero point 0.1 here, right? So we just need to see. Now we can run the plot and we can add this plot in with other plots. You can see now we have a multiple bar chart with sex for the two groups A, B. These are the two groups. You can see different proportion in different groups for different variables. Uh, in odd ratio studies, you can show the proportions of yes and no for all these. This will give an additional information. And if anyone wants to change the results from odds ratio to risk ratio, then this percentage can be utilized. Percentage in we can say the cases and in control in case control studies and with disease without disease you can show for different variables. For sex, for example, you can show uh, uh, how many uh, cases are there and how many controls are there for male and females. You can write something like that if you are interested in showing the number of positive cases in male and female, then these groups will be different. For example, for these two groups, yes, no, male, female, here, higher income, low income, and here it will be different things. But if you have different studies and you just want to compare the odd ratio by gender, then the gender will be A, B, and these will be the number of studies. So this is a good thing you can compare. Although if you want to display the data for by groups, then you can incorporate the grouping data in data 2 as well here in data 2, and this will again it will consist of a 1 to 8 data set with 8 observations, and you will get odd ratio for male and female, for example, for group A and B for all the studies. But in this case, we are just showing proportion for the two groups, and the odd ratios are providing for overall study. So let's put together all these tables. The plot one, that is this table, and the table now you don't need to present this table as the number of variables are already shown in this box plot. So you don't need to display this. I will show first with this option. And this is the forest plot, and this is the table one odd ratio, and this is the table two confidence interval. So just you can just see the bar chart, the index that is the consist of the variable names, and this is the odd ratio with confidence interval through forest plot, and this is the column of odd ratio. This is the column of 95% confidence interval. So if you want to remove this, you can just remove this, and this will be your final result. Sorry, what happens basically we have set four parameters here widths. The first is should be 4, and now it will be removed. So the first two has have larger widths, and the last two, this one need only width of 1, and this needs width of 2. Now this is the compact table you need to present in your publication. And if you want to change the sizes of this text, you have option, and you want to move this legend, and you can change the variables with different number of studies you can. But uh, you can do it for difference of means, uh, and then odds ratios, and then hazard ratios or risk ratio. Every type of study you can present this table, and this is a more attractive table and with high quality display. And you, if you want to save this, you can do export, save as image, save as PDF, and you can just save by this option, copy as image, save as image, and you can save in all file types. You can convert it into any type of file like TIFF or JPG or PNG, any type of file. But this is a high quality graph with tables that is very interesting to present in your publications. So thank you for watching, and this video is very will be very helpful if you are uh, doing a current study. It's very interesting to present this table in for your uh, final result. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe the channel if you still not subscribed.